Welcome back programmers. In the previous video I talked about the serializations. Now if you didn't saw that video, please watch that video because serialization is the very important part of the Django REST framework. In the today's section we are going to talk about function based views and we are going to create a create and update and delete method. It means get and post. So let's do this. Now in the Django REST framework.org, just go on the API guide, click on the views and click on the function based view. You will find all of these details. Okay, so just go on our student data API under student data app and click on the URLs and views and serializers.py. As you can see, we already are using the function based view. Now there is two types of views, function based and class based view. I'm gonna talk about both, but in the today's section I'm gonna show you the function based view. Now obviously I am creating the function for this situation because I wanna show the data, and for that I just use the def student data API and request all data equal to student data model.objects.all and ss equals to student data serializers and all of the data main equal to true, and I'm just returning the response of ss of data. So it means I'm just showing the data, and for that I'm using the get method, and for that I'm using the decorator. Now if you are using the function based view, so you have to use the from REST framework.decorators import API views. It means you have to use the decorator for every movement. So let's create the create functions. But before creating a create function, let me show you the details page. It means in this /student data API, we can just see all of the data. But what if you wanna see the particular data? For example, the first one is first name Logan, last name Howlett, age 34 and roll number 1 and pass equal to false. It calls the details page. You can see every particular fields. So let's quickly create the details page, and for that I'm gonna name it def student data API details, and then in here I'm gonna pass the request and another pk named argument because we want the ID of every particular elements which we are going to fetch. For example, if I want to see this particular Vivek, so what I'm gonna just simply write 1 here or 2 here. So I'm gonna get my first name which is Logan, and if I write 3 here I will get the third one, and so on. And this is nothing but the pk ID primary key. Now what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna copy all of this stuff and paste it in here. I'm gonna use the for now get method. Now because I want the particular elements, what I'm gonna do, I'm not gonna directly get all of the objects. I'm gonna fetch objects within the use of student data model.objects.get and id equal to pk primary key. Now let's use these student data details and create another URL for this particular object. So just go on the URLs and create another URL. As you can see, I am just writing the less than greater than and pk, which is nothing but our variable name primary key. So wherever user writes / whatever number, it will store it in here and it will pass in our function. Now because we are directly showing our data in the student data, we don't need this right now. We are going to use our API /API or domain name /student data /API because we are using API for now. So just go on the URL of main project. Yes, there it is. We are going to write student data /API. So we need the particular object, for example Logan and whatever Vivek, David, whatever particular object. So if I write 1 here, so as you can see I got the first name and obviously the URL. So let's try another, let's try 2. As you can see I got Vivek Rathod. Let's try again, let's try 5. So as you can see I got Peter Griffin. So and so on, so I can get all of the data, particular data. But as you can see, or allow equal to option and get, this is only get method, and http equal to 200, it means okay. But what if you wanna change the Peter into some another, for example Brian Griffin or Stewie Griffin? So what you are gonna do? And for that we are going to use the post, and for that Django REST has a lots of methods such as update, delete, it means put, delete, get, and so on. So we are gonna use all of that methods. So let's do this. So first of all, go in the serializers in the student data API. In here, as you can see, we just created the class named student data serializer, which we are using now. Now if you see official documentation of function based view in the Django REST, and let's first create our data, and for that just go in the serializers in the tutorials, and in here you will find the def create and def update, which is nothing but the inbuilt function which you can use in your serializers to update and create the data. So let's first of all create these create functions, and for that just copy this, or let's create a new one. And remember, the name and the argument must be the same. In here the name of the function is create, argument is first of all obviously self, because we are writing this function in our snippet serializer or whatever our serializer name. And in here first of all def create self and validated data, it means you have to write the argument validated data. So just go in your serializers.py and just go in your function, class. So this is my class student data serializers. In here just paste that function def create self validated data and whatever your snippet you wanna return. So we are going to first return our snippet, which is nothing but the our model name. So let's do this. First I'm gonna remove this. Now let's import our model. So our model is in the student data app and in the model.py. So just import this from student data app dot models.py, import star, it means import all of this stuff. Now because we are creating an object, if you know how to create a model object, you can use objects.create directly. So just import your model and then just use your name. For example, my model name is student data model dot objects dot create whatever validate data user give. Now let me show you how these things work. First of all, go in your views.py and just write the get and post in here, because we are gonna add the data. If you don't know how to do this, just go in the API guide and go in the views and go in the function based views. You can write like this, API view get and post in the list. So just copy and paste this in your functions. Now if you reload this website, you will find get, post and option. It means our get and post is working now, and 200 means okay. Now when you click in here, you will find obviously JSON and API, but the new thing you will see when you write post is this container. You can write all of the data in this container, and you can even choose the media type. You can use either JSON, you can use the WW form, URL encoded or form data, but the JSON is the perfect one for now. Now what will happen if you write data? Let's say you wrote data like this, first name, last name, age, roll number, pass. You have to write it in a JSON format. So let's say you change the data like Peter to Stu Griffin. So how this thing work? So if you write the data in here, as you can see we got a multiple data, or you can say a multiple validated data. So what happen when you click on the post? It will store all of this data into these serializers in this def create function in this validate data, and that's why we wrote the validated data in the arguments. So it will catch all of the data in this variable here, all of the data. And in here as you can see we are writing a model student data model dot objects dot create star validated data, means a multiple data. If you see double star, it means multiple arguments. Okay, it means it will create an object for all of this data. Now remember, still we didn't save the data in the models, we just created the serializer. All of the data is available in the serializer. So what we can do, just go in your functions and just write if request.method equal to post. It means it's a post request. First grab the serializers, which is nothing but or this serializer student data serializers. Let's say ss equal to serializers, Now because we want the data from serializer, so what you can do, data equal to request.data. Now obviously data is coming from the request from the serializer. So what I done here is I created the object as the serializer and I grab all of the data equal to request.data, and I store the data in the SS. Now what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna first check if ss dot is valid. It means if data is correct and nothing their error is here, so then save the data ss dot save, then return the ss dot data as the response. But what if validated data is not correct or it's incorrect, or you can say the data is wrong, so just give the error directly in the else. You can return the error as return ss dot errors, and even you can pass the status. Now what is status? What is the codes which we saw in this, as you can see this area http 200. Now what is this 200? Now just go in the official Django REST framework org documentation, click on the tutorials or API guide, go in status code. You will find all of the details about status code. Now there are a lots of kind of status code available. First copy this line from REST framework import status, because we need this status, and paste it in your views.py. Now we can use any status code you want. Now for example, if any kind of operation is successful, we can return the success status. Always success status code start with 2. In here as you can see 200 means okay, which we saw in the or in this area http 200 okay, and 201 it means created, 202 it means accepted, and so on. So 2 means successful. Now 3 means redirection, any kind of redirection, and here 300 means multiple choices, 301 means moved permanently if you moved any URL to another URL, so you can write http 301 code or so on. So as you can see we got a lots of 302, any kind of redirection it means 3. Now client error, if client wrote any kind of error, if client added any type of misguided input, so all of that error will store in 4. For example 400, this is the very common. If you write the input which didn't accepted as the backend, so it will show the error like this http 400 bad request, and so on. So not found, if any object is not found 404, which is the very common error. You will see this 404 common error in a lots of websites. So I'm gonna just use this http 400 bad request because user entered the bad request in our case, because if ss dot is valid it means we are gonna save that data. But what if we user added some bad request? So obviously we are gonna store it in status dot http 400 bad request. Okay, so we are creating an object, so you can't write update in here because we wrote the code for create a new object, and this particular element which we are in our particular element is the details view. So you can create a new element in the details view. So what we can do, we can copy this code. I'm gonna cut this code and paste it in the student data API data, because you can create the data where you see all of the data. You can't create a particular data in the particular details page, and for that I'm gonna copy and paste that code in here. So as you can see we got a lots of data available. So let me quickly just change this decorator to post decorator. Okay, so now let's just add data. For example, let's say I wanna add, first of all I'm gonna copy this data and paste it in here. Now I'm gonna change the first name to, let's say, Leonardo da Vinci, last name equal to Vinci, age equal to 45, roll number equal to 10, and pass equal to false. Okay, so when I click on the post button, as you can see I moved to that particular object because I'm returning the response as ss.data. It means whatever data we got, I'm returning the data. That's fine. But it's perfectly worked. As you can see, HTTP 200 OK. It means our data is stored. If I restart the URL, as you can see, I got the last data as the Leonardo da Vinci. It means our create view is perfectly working. Now remember, because you are creating an object, you have to write the create code in the student app data API data, because you can't create the data into the particular details page. You can just update the data. So how these things works, let me show you. If you write any kind of input in here, for example, let's say this is my input. If you click on the post button, it will go in the serializers in here, and it will store it in validated data. It will store all of the data in the validated data, and it will automatically create an object for student data model.objects.create validated data. Now it's just stored in the serializer. So what you can do, you can just go in the views.py. If request.method equal to post, it means if someone click on this post button, so create an object of serializers. It will store all of the data from the request.data, data equal to request.data. Now we created the ss as the object. Now if ss dot is valid, it means it perfectly working, data has no error. So save the data obviously, and then return the response ss.data. We are not saving the data in here, as you can see. If you wanna do this, you can directly do this, as you can see save, but we are not saving the data here. We are saving the data here. We just created the object model here, and then we are saving that data in here, and then returning that particular data is the ss.data in the response. But if you got the any error, let's try any error. Let me remove this, and let me remove this too. Let's try to add post. As you can see, we got this error, HTTP 400 bad request. Why? Because as you can see, return ss.error status equal to status.http bad request. I wrote in the else condition, return the ss.error. And that's why, as you can see, JSON parse error expecting property name enclosed in double quote line 3 column 5. And that's why I got the HTTP 400 bad request. So that was the easiest way to create and view in your Django REST. In the next video, I'm gonna talk about the update. So that is it for today, guys. If you like this video, just like this video, and if you don't wanna miss the update, means how you can update this particular data. Let's say you wanna change the login to Wolverine, so how you can do this. In the next video, we are gonna talk about the update. So that is it for today, guys. If you like this video, like this video. If you don't wanna miss the next part, just hit on the bell icon. Share this video with the programmer. Hit on the bell icon so you'll never miss my latest video. See you guys in the next video. Till then, just